be, by the way.
Episode of Blerd Buster, and tonight we have a special guest. And if I could, man, I'm just gonna pass it off to him.
Hey man, it's Rhetorick from the Thoughtful Narcissist podcast. Hey man, I appreciate you having me here, man. I'm very excited. Love what y'all doing here. Like, especially in this comic book culture, we need more black content creators.
Oh yeah.
I watch every comic movie I watch. I go to my same people. Rarely any of them look like me, or if they do, they have one person who's like. Maybe do a video every once in a while that looks like me. So right. I love being part of this space, and I'm just ready to get down and talk about this stuff.
What's up, man? Awesome. You were not the first one to say it. I think our last guest, Wiz, he was like, he only really come to us and other people for like his content and what he's looking for, or whatever, because we speak to what people are actually looking at versus what society is telling you to look at, or whatever have you. But as we always do, we start off. So I am your host K1, and this is your co-host.
Shalom, what's up, people?
And we're about to jump into it. Originally, we were going to do Star Wars, but we decided to pivot because right now, DC... It's content-worthy, something to talk about. But the hot button topic right now is DC, the state of DC right now. So, if you've been keeping up, guns been gunning. Everything that you thought was going to be canon, that's done with, that's over with. But like I said, we're gonna jump into it. Just talk about what's going on with DC, what we think the future of it is gonna be, what we've been seeing, what we know to be true, and things of that nature, and we just go from there. Right. So we know the biggest thing we was talking about this earlier was The Rock.
The Rock, yes.
So and I've been laughing at it this whole time. Like he was talking big shit.
He
was talking big shit. He like, I got Superman on. He's gonna be here. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a clash. Like, we're gonna get it done. I'm the one. But you ain't.
Right.
You ain't really calling the shots. You a star-studded actor, but you're not calling the shots on this.
Yeah.
And I think it really. He didn't say it, but I think it hurt his ego.
I agree.
I think he was like, I put all this push into this. This is something I've been working on. What he's been working on
2007 years. 2007.
He's been working on that for this long.
Before Man of Steel came out.
Yeah, way before they came out. So he's been working on this. Has been a passion project of his. So I know he felt it like, bro, like I'll just really shot my shit down like that because he was like, it's gonna be a part 2 or blah blah blah. So it's just like everything that we've seen, like from Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Man of Steel, none of it's gonna be canon anymore.
Nothing.
Now, technically, all of them are technically just standalone films. In my eyes, they're just standalone films. I mean, originally it was DCEU?
Yeah,
now it's just
DCEU.
Yeah, I think just kind of put into the Snyderverse now. That's just the.
Yeah,
but we don't even know if they're gonna follow that.
Well, I mean, it's clearly not. I mean, there's no more of that. They kicked him out. They kicked all his team out. It's over with.
Everybody's got the chopping block.
That's how it is, man. It reminds me of that meme where you got the Grim Reaper going to each door, and that's what
right.
Yo, you gotta go. You thought you was gonna stay. You gotta go. I think there's even talks now. I'm saying talks because there's nothing been confirmed, but Jason Momoa is supposed to be playing Lobos.
I heard that too.
So I'm just like, okay, so taking Aquaman out, he's gonna be Lobos now. All right, what's next? So he's the only one that y'all keeping. Y'all got rid of Henry.
Yeah.
We don't know when Gal Gadot, when she's gonna be back in. If she
they did say that Wonder Woman 3 isn't gonna come out.
I'm saying Wonder Woman 3 is canceled. But as far as just using her for future projects, I doubt she's gonna use her.
I don't think you can though. I don't think you can use any of them because they all come from that universe.
Right.
And I think because of the whole release the Snyder cut, everything that happened with that, Martha stuff, everything that just came out of that, they just want to wipe that off of them. And that's why you had to get rid of Henry Cavill, even though he's like the perfect Superman.
Superman.
He is perfect adult age Superman. There's nobody else who can play that looks just like the comic books.
Right.
So it's but you got to go away from it because again, we talked about this in the DMs.
Mhm.
Ego. I can't have my work associated with his work, even if this is what the people want.
Right.
Because it's not. People didn't like Batman v Superman. People didn't like it in its entirety, but people love the characters. People love Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like we have these things that we all love. It's just we didn't get it executed the way we wanted
properly.
to.
Yeah. I agree. Because I think now they keep trying to make it pretty, but you know, Henry Cavill low key tried to say, well, for right now in this time period, presently, you know, they're gonna do away with his, I guess, the age that he is as Superman. They're gonna go for a younger Superman.
Right.
And so, yeah, but then he turned around and said, well, he's pretty much retiring the cape for good. And then I think The Rock kind of spoke into that as well. He was like, damn, what did he say? Basically, what I'm trying to say, they try to make it seem like for now they're retiring the character, but for future reference, they talked about bringing it back. But I feel like they're just trying to make it pretty. I think they done.
Yeah, that's just Hollywood jazz.
Yeah, I think
they
they
just
done
trying to
for
put a nice ball on. Like, yeah, we're not gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
But you gonna fuck
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah,
you
pretty
know,
much,
yeah.
yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, I think they done.
Cause, you know, just speaking off what y'all said or whatever, as far as like, okay, they moving away from the older, you know, Superman or whatever. They was like, okay, yeah, we gonna take him out and bet. What we gonna do now? We gonna focus on young Superman,
Yeah.
and his path and all that or whatever. So, you know, I guess with that being said, it kind of brings me to the question like, so you had the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Right.
Are you gonna take any of that and add it to it? Like, you know, I'm assuming that's gonna get cut too.
Well, I've
Because-
heard the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's supposed to stay.
Because I believe the deal with the Matt Reeves Batman and also kind of going with the Joker as well is that their directors have different kind of deals with Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it was a separate universe with it.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like I don't see like I think in their deal like they have the right to either join or not, you know, things like that nature with their product.
Right.
I just don't think that he wants to do that. I think he wants to have a gritty, real Batman without an alien in the sky. He just wants to have that kind of Batman, kind of like a Christian Nolan.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna end up having probably two Batman.
Yeah.
At the
That
same time.
hurts.
We'll have like a super Batman that's with the Justice
Right.
League, and then we'll have this Batman that, you know, I'm pretty sure that other Batman probably won't have solo. We'll probably only have Robert Pattinson. That other Batman will probably be like in team up movies and stuff like that.
Right.
It would have to be because I mean, if they're gonna focus on the young Superman, they're gonna have to focus on the young Batman.
Yeah.
And technically,
Yeah.
we got a young Batman with Robert Pattinson's Batman or whatever. But like you said, there's different deals, so therefore, you know, that's what's gonna be this whole thing because they're already working on 2. They're already working on the Joker 2. Like they already got things to work on the side. You know, almost a split like what Marvel has as far as Sony, Fox, and all that or whatever. They got their own projects they're doing. So you know, my thing is, like, I don't mind it. You know, I just feel like if y'all gonna really do it right and do it big, it's gonna have to be a stretch. It's gonna have to be a 10-year stretch like Marvel had.
Yeah.
Because even with Marvel, with their stretch that they have, or whatever, even if things change, they're able to pivot because they got so much background on what they have in their universe already.
Yeah.
DC don't have that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we started off from scratch, and all these solo projects they're gonna be what they're gonna be, and then you
Yeah.
gotta focus on this universe you're trying to create.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And then just the blowback of just the hate that's already having to fight because like DC got a stain on it. Like anytime somebody goes up to a DC movie, it's going to be judged harder
Right.
than it has any other Marvel movie get.
right,
So it's gonna be an uphill battle. I think they're trying to get the whole Kevin Feige thing with James Gunn. I think it's going to be real risky because I don't know if y'all remember about what happened with James Gunn, why he got dropped off the Guardians movie,
Yeah,
the
some-
third movie,
some
the first
stuff.
time around. Was he had a lot of crazy tweets. Like he was a what they call edgelord in that community,
Right.
where he like goes in, talks about wild stuff, and they just joke things for the sake of joking.
Mhm.
But you know, now in this day and age, stuff that'll get you lose your job.
ah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this okay.
And
got
then
it.
the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy all kind of banded together, helping bring them back. 'Cause they was like, well, we ain't shooting under nobody else if y'all don't bring them back. So yeah, there's some shit going on.
That's why he went to Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And I think that's obviously how he probably got in the good graces of Warner Brother and
Yeah.
going from there. Because even though did y'all feel like that movie was that much of a success? I wasn't mad at it, but I don't feel like it would have garnered to put him at top like that.
I didn't care for it.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
I'm
Think, I
sorry.
don't think it would have garnered him to be on the top spot, but I will say it was just the Suicide Squad, just rated R.
Mhm.
To me, that's
Yeah.
all it was. It was just
Pretty
same
much.
movie, just rated R.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but what I said this before, what that movie gave me was all the gore I wanted in Mortal Kombat.
Mhm.
Like all the gore I was looking
Yeah.
for in Mortal Kombat, they had it in that movie.
Don't get me started on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
How do you have Mortal Kombat and then don't compete in the tournament?
Man, well, They said, oh, because it's gonna be a part 2. It's gonna be.
And don't call it
3.
Mortal Kombat.
Like,
There was none Mortal. Okay. Let's get back on these.
I understand.
Don't get me started on that, man. Don't get me started on that. But like I said, I'm really excited to see what they can do with this, because if they do with this fresh new world, I want to see what his envision is. I don't think he's going to be like every detail is going to have to be James Gunnish, but I am hoping that he's going to be opened up to the world where we don't even have to have those rules of everything's in the same universe. Like we can have a Superman and he's in this universe going down like All-Star Superman type stuff.
Right.
Then you got a Beyond Batman universe. You know, you can do these different things. And then if you want to crush them up for a crisis event, like DC has plenty of them. Like they just had one a couple months ago. So
Yeah.
This is the company who is, at least from the comic book standpoint, is known to reboot, just start over like it's nothing. So they've been here before, but I think as the fan base, just deserve a well thought out narrative.
Yeah.
Because like I said, even the 10 years of Marvel that we got from Iron Man to Endgame, they weren't all knocking out the park.
Yeah,
There were a lot of those there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Like it was.
But when you can keep working with that and still build off of it, you can turn a movie like Thor: Dark Side, whatever. What was the second? Thor 2.
Yeah, Dark World,
and then you make it a focal point in your biggest movie.
Right.
So it's like you can do that and reimagine things. So I want to see it happen. I want to see what's going to happen, and I'm surprised. I want to know who they're going to play with Superman. I want to see if they're going to actually roll the dice on something. Black Superman.
my only concerns is, and I haven't, now granted I may be speaking from a place of ignorance, I haven't seen all of James Gunn's projects. I've just seen as far as like comic related things. I guess I'm just not gonna go into it with no high expectations, just based off what I've seen. I haven't seen John Cena's Pacemaker series. I heard that was good.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
So I mean, going off of that, maybe he has potential to do what Marvel did in, like over 10 years, and it looks like that's what they're doing. They gotta start with the young Superman and build it up or whatever like that. So I mean, I'm hoping he gets it right, and I hope they kind of take a thing out of the Russo brothers, because they did their goddamn thing on the Infinity Saga. I mean, like you said, not all the movies were a hit out the damn ballpark, but I think what helped Marvel was everything felt cohesive. There was the same tones. For instance, when you got Aquaman and you got goddamn Wonder Woman and Men of Steel, that it never felt like it was all in the same universe. So I hope that they do it right. And I'm not mad at, them having like the Batman in its own universe, which I think that's what they're gonna do, is keep him in his own universe. I hope they do, because I love the Batman movie, but I don't know. I'm just hoping they don't fuck it up. I hope.
Like you said, to your point, I mean, Batman's always been a good seller.
Yeah.
You will always get some good content out of Batman.
Right.
Even the content people didn't like.
Right.
I'm talking about the George Clooney's, the Val Kilmers, and all that. They still was running. They still was going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Batman has always been a good standalone by itself, whether or not it's been in the universe or not.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna always sell. As far as guns goes, like when we talk about Peacemaker, when we talk about Suicide Squad 2, like we gotta think those not even gonna be canon.
Yeah.
Like,
but are they? Because his wife is in Peacemaker and Suicide Squad 2. So are we gonna make we're gonna start for the Suicide Squad 2? Make
I hope that's not what we're using the bill.
I'm just saying, like, when you get guys like him, Tim Burton, like those guys are well known. I want my people in my movies, and that's how we're gonna do it. So I can definitely see, like I say, it's gonna get pretty interesting. He's answered a lot of questions on the timeline though. Like he's been pretty forthcoming about what they kind of want to do in regards to that. So
I also heard, to your point, that they may be kind of doing like a multiverse type thing with the Flash, and they may try to like pull that into like how we have all these different like universes and shit like that. So maybe they may do that. I don't know.
Speaking of the Flash, are we going to touch on Ezra Miller at all, or how he's?
Why not, man?
Ezra Miller been after me for a minute. Like I didn't care for his performance at all. And then when they was like, "Oh, you gotta get a solo movie," I'm like, "Why?
For what?
For what?" So we just see him skate on ice through the whole movie. Like I'm like,
bro, that is the craziest run I've ever seen.
It's
in
a
my
nasty
life.
run. It's a
it's
nasty
hell.
run.
It's like he slid through butter. So I'm I'm good on Ezra. I
It's
mean,
a terrible flag.
like he got canceled before they even decided to cancel him.
Can you
Like,
cancel Ezra Miller? I don't even think that with all of his charges, he just seems like an uncancelable force.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, it's got to be the jawline.
That's what I was
It's got to
thinking.
be the jawline.
It's got to be
It's
the chin.
It's got to be.
It's something.
But
It's just it's crazy just to think of somebody who can just do these things that he's been accused of doing, and it's like no one's like, hey man, like we're not gonna put this movie out, or we're gonna like do something to get him out or anything. Just like no, we're gonna put it out. Everybody else will be cut. Batgirl, cut. Everybody else is good, but no. It's Ezra guy. And some got me in his contract because he was like in the Harry Potter movies too, right? With the prequels,
the spin-offs of Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, so it's like he's obviously embedded with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean him and you got to think even Jason Momoa might be as well because he was the only one that didn't get cut.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Oh, we gonna recast."
Wasn't he the only one who had $1 billion movie?
Did he? Was Aquaman $1 billion?
I know Aquaman made $1 billion, but I don't think because I know Captain Marvel did better than Wonder Woman, and Captain Marvel did $1 billion on that one. I mean the first Wonder Woman anyway. And I don't think Man of Steel ever made $1 billion in box office. But I know Aquaman did.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people gave a lot of praise, especially when it came out like right after Black Panther did.
Mm-hmm.
So people was looking at it like, oh, this is.
I mean, it was the same
those
story.
vibes. Yeah, it was
all Hamlet. It was all
I
Hamlet.
was one of those people, and then I watched it second time. I was like, you know what? This is kind of trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not as good as I thought. Nah.
Because I mean, when we talk about the water scene in Aquaman or whatever, to me it was okay, but it just felt real grainy to me.
It was better than the bubble from the Justice League movie.
Right.
Like, why are we fish people? We need a bubble to talk. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Just talk in the water.
It don't make sense.
But I was glad about that. Like I said, I wanted to see Black Manta and like I'm a real comic book nerd with this. Like, I don't know if y'all know Black Manta's history or why he was in the comic book. In the comic book history, his mission was to bring black people to Atlantis to take over.
Oh wow!
Like that was part of his ideal. Like that was really what the thing. And then they kind of changed him and made him part of Atlantis and all that stuff. The reboots and all. But like that was like his early thing. Like no, like the people on the surface have done my people wrong. I'm about to take your land now.
Oh,
like that's literally what it was. So that's why I wanted to see like a kind of take back from that portion of like no, let's bring a real authentic Black Manta in this because like people say like folks used to think he was just Black Manta because of his suit. Like no, there's a black man underneath there.
Yeah.
So a lot of folks never realized that.
Damn.
To get that off the ground,
yeah.
Oh, it would be a tough. Oh, definitely a tough.
So, like I'm thinking of the possibilities, but then I'm just like, who gonna do it? Like we gonna put Ryan Coogler out to go do it? Like I was like, cause that just seems like a Black Panther quote, like like throw me in the ocean, because
essentially that's
pretty much right.
Killmonger became Black Panther.
So I would not mind. I would not mind being behind that.
I'm here for it.
And that's also something I kind of talked about as well. Like with The Rock and everything, pretty much just kind of conceded to like, all right, I won't be able to do what I want to do anymore. It's like, could you do your own thing if you decided to? Like, it doesn't have to be DC, but do your own thing.
Yeah.
Like we got plenty of parody superhero shows and movies that are out there, or whatever. Like,
I mean, I can definitely see him doing his own kind of superhero type thing. He'd be more though like I feel like with The Rock, he's better if just an action hero with it.
I agree.
Like, because even with the Black Adam performance, it was like there was no energy with it. Like even with I felt like his rules were in effect with the movie. Like I don't know if y'all are familiar with what happened in the Fast 5 movies.
The clauses.
Yeah, the clauses he has. Yeah, I could feel that in this movie, even to the point where like how they changed some of the storyline. So in the comic books, Black Adam kills his son.
I heard that he kills
his son because his son is gonna be too soft.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you need to make these oppressors feel our pain.
Right.
So he kills his son and takes his power. And I was like, when you took that part, I was like, now it's like, how is he?
Like that.
He's not an anti-hero anymore. He's just a guy who had a rough luck.
Bro, when I tell you, we were saying because that was our whole thing with the video. We were saying we hate that they kind of went the anti-hero route because he came into the comics as a villain, and it was a lot of dope ass like that one. And we got griping. I mean, I legit had someone tell me like, "Oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, in the comics he's an anti-hero, he helps his people. And I'm like, yeah, down the line.
Yeah,
he starts off as a villain.
Yeah, so like, bruh, like,
even if you want to make him a good anti-hero, he has to do bad things.
Yes.
So like your son getting killed, that's not you doing a bad. You killing him.
You're a hero.
And it wasn't.
He was
I don't
a
think it was his
hero.
son in the comics. I think like his nephew or something in the comics or something like that. It wasn't his son. But you killing the boy and getting his power. That makes you now more okay. Hold on, you're doing it for your people, but you killed it. It was like now you have that dichotomy where I'm thinking like I don't know which way to lean to. Kind of like what Killmonger did.
I agree 100 and 1,000%. I felt like the anti-hero thing could have came later on had they continued, but starting out, hell, to me, he was pretty much a hero because the people he was killing was people that were bad.
Like, and in the comics again, he loves conduct. I don't feel like he loved conduct. I feel like he was around the little boy and his family, and he just rocked with them.
Pretty much.
Like I said, he was pretty much a genie. He was Shaq's Shazam. Like they got him out the bottom. He was indebted to them. He didn't want to leave them. He didn't care about nothing else but them. Mm-hmm. But we went into that review. Like I just like at the end of the day or whatever. Like you said, if it went like how it would in the comics, 10 times better. Because we talked about, we was like, if he's gonna really be this bad of a guy, if he had to be locked away, let it be something to be locked away for.
And it was
like, you kill a bunch of bad people. And
right.
Bad people. Like, but you talking about you killed a kid to take their power because they too soft.
Mm-hmm.
That's a millennial boom action that we love to see. So just.
And then it would have helped set up for and then that's another thing that pissed me off about The Rock. It's like now this is true because we don't damn know, but the whole turning down the Shazam cameo. Nigga, you in the comics, you fight Shazam. Shazam needs help.
That's your biggest op.
Yeah, and he needs help, so he goes and gets Superman to fight your ass. Like that's how it goes in the comics. What the hell are you doing?
And I talked about that so bad because at the end of the day he kept talking about, oh yeah, I gotta do this Black Adam and Superman fight. No, you need to get Shazam first.
Nigga. Like,
Shazam can't beat you, and then you gotta get Superman to whoop your ass.
Right.
And then him killing the kid is a crossover to him fighting Billy Batson, who is a kid. Like it's all supposed to be in together in that manner. But it's like when you take that out of it, it just now it feels draw. It feels really like glam. I saw actually a good video that talked about how Namor was a better Teth Adam than
I said he wasn't an anti-hero. I said he was an anti-villain. I said at the end of the day, like I said, I talked about this. At the end of the day, I was like, Namor was about his people. He like, she got to go. Yeah. Like ain't no in between. I'm not gonna let you soften me up and make me think otherwise. She got to go. And the same thing with Black Adam. From what I remember from Black Adam, he was chasing around Shazam because he wanted his power. He wanted more power than what he had. So I'm just like, make it make sense.
Right.
Like, because I came in there, I'm like, I'm not coming in here to see Black Adam as a superhero.
Hell no.
That's not what I want to see. He came out in a cape and everything. I'm like, bro, what? I got a cape on.
Right.
What
are we
watching?
Doing? Yeah, what are you doing? What you doing?
Right, but when he came out with the hood on, I'm like, okay, Black Air Force energy.
Right.
Then it just died after that.
Right, I'm like, you making nice with a kid and his mom. Who the fuck these people? Right. Yeah, that was my gripe about that whole shit. And that's my thing. I try not to listen to rumors, but it makes sense when people start trying to say he was trying to, I guess, essentially be on the same level as Superman. Like, the hierarchy's about to change type shit. It's like, no, you are a villain. Stick to that. It's okay.
No story.
And in the comic books, they have been making Teth Adam more prevalent as a member of the Justice League and things of that nature. But again, that stuff has to be earned.
Exactly.
You have to, and I think that's why a lot of things I hate about the Superman thing is that he was really earning that the way we look at Superman in the comics now as being this person of I understand my goal and my mission and why I'm doing this now. Right. It's like people wanted him to just jump out the gate with that, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, that's understandable. It's like me personally, when I like to see you grow. I like to see you fall and get up.
Right.
And it was like that's what we had. We had him killing people. We had him making decisions of like, do these people really deserve me?
Right.
And then for him to come and give that answer, it's like, no, I deserve to give them my all.
Right.
And just to throw it away, it's just crazy.
Because we talked about that a lot on the show, that as far as DC goes or whatever, like they don't let anything build up. You're just forced to believe whatever it is they're giving you, whatever. And I'm hoping with this new change, like we actually see a build up, we actually get to learn the character. So down the line, when we see them in another movie or whatever that's not their own, okay, we know your backstory, we know what you got going on. I can follow this, I can appreciate it. Right now, we can't. Like Black Adam was probably the closest thing to where you kind of got a little bit of a backstory, but it still felt pushed. You know, so I just, you know, with all the changes that are being made, I just hope that, you know, like we always say, take your time. If you really are going to do this, like they're doing it now, doing a hard reset, take your time. Don't give us a hard reset and then fuck it all up. Like, come in hard and then you get a flat tire. Like, don't just come in correctly or whatever and make the stories make sense.
I wouldn't even be mad if they did like the Justice League War type joint where it's just everybody's already a hero. We know, because people know the stories. People understand a hero, and then you can still add and interject more backstory as one. You can literally start off with Darkseid just think Earth pussy. He just triumphed, and now Justice League step up on his ass, and now we got an intergalactic conflict, and then you can still show everybody else's story after that. Or how we got there. That's
why the DC animated movies were so good. They did the exact
That's all they did. That's all they did.
They did the exact thing.
That's all
so
you do.
they have a DC animated movie called War, where Darkseid come in. You hardly know the characters yet, but they come together like, oh, we got to whoop his ass, and now we're building up Justice League. So the animated universe has it. Whatever Sam Register is doing, he know what the fuck he doing.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I've said this before, like the DC animated movies don't miss. Like they got a backstory, you can understand what's going on, and then majority of them are rated R, and like that's what we want to see. So
that's what it is.
Yes.
Like, they keep wondering why they're not getting the movies that they want. Like, you gotta maybe try something different. Like, you're gonna have to try to appeal to a different kind of crowd in a different kind of way.
I see always say all the time, fuck them kids, because that's what they try to do. They try to soften it up so kids can see it too.
And I promise you, these parents will let these kids see that.
I saw this stuff as a kid. I watched when did the first Blade come out? Like it came out in
early 2000s.
Early 2000s, something like that. I had no business watching that. It was rated R. First thing I remember, he coming to a party. It's like a shower looking room.
And it's like a nasty little party in a club type joint.
Everybody just getting down, looking at each other, all that. They say, you know, he come in there. They show blood shower. I'm like, yo.
Listen, these kids be on GTA, Roblox, and shit.
They got role playing games.
Right.
These folks, these kids know. These parents is not controlling nothing. They will get them their little $25 and go to the movies so they can go out and do whatever
they don't give a shit nowadays.
So, you know, I just feel like if you got people, you got fans out here that want to see it, give it to them or whatever. Because at the end of the day, that's going to be the people that push your stuff. If you ain't got a fan base,
I promise you, kids saw Deadpool. Plenty of kids saw Deadpool. It don't make $1 billion without that.
No, I am pretty sure. Like,
look how well the Snyder Cut did. I mean, it was released on HBO Max, but I mean, shit.
And I was here.
I was here too.
Watching it for them 4 hours. I'm
right.
Like, this is what I wanted. You know, like they gave me everything.
I didn't want them singing at the lake, but that was, you know.
I
could have went without that.
It was extra.
It was extra.
That probably like an extra 30 minutes.
Slick wanted to just take the whole movie and just cut out some parts.
Yeah.
Like, let me just get that a little shorter.
Like
you didn't need the whole
need to be 4 hours. It really did. Like I had to take an intermission. I'm like, damn, I ain't never had to take an intermission. Like I'm talking about from Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. I ain't never had to take an intermission. But for that one, I was like, ooh. I started at 8 o'clock. We ended at 12. I was like, good.
Right.
So you know, it's like it's there. The content is there. You know, you just gotta be able to tell a story correctly. And you know, if Gunn's got a master plan, I'm just here and waiting to see it.
See, if they do go in like you guys were saying, they go right off the bat with Darkseid and they just kind of put you in there. I feel like they gonna have to come with it though. Like I'm talking about damn near perfection. Like everybody can act. The storyline is dope as fuck because even with the Justice Society with if I'm saying that right with Hawkman and
Black Adam,
Dr. Fate. Yeah. And I feel like I would have loved to see how they formed and came together like a movie for them, but it's like, you know, some people may say, well, they're not really known all that well. It's like, but Guardians of the Galaxy weren't well known either, and they're popular as hell now, so it can be done. It's possible. It's just they have to execute it properly.
Yeah, that's it.
That wasn't a bad casting either for Hawk.
They were my favorite characters.
But the character in general that plays, you know, Hawkman, whatever, like you throw him in pretty much anything.
Yeah, he gonna kill it.
Like, he gonna kill it every time. Whatever. So I was like, when they chose him, I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I'll work with it.
I wasn't mad at it.
Yeah, but I still would have liked to see some of his backstory because his character or whatnot, he gets reincarnated every so often or whatever have you. So I was like, I was interested to know like how he got his money and all that whatever because the way they portrayed him like Black Panther like he got all his money.
He was like Tony Stark.
So he was ready to go. So I'm like, be interested to know how you got there.
Slick kind of made me like I don't know if y'all want to recast the T'Challa type way, but Slick kind of made me mad seeing him being like, bro, y'all could have put him right in there.
I was a part of the recast. I said they should.
He could have been right there.
I agree. I got a lot of flack for my family included because they're all like, no, which I get because I'm a huge, much respect to Chadwick Boseman. It won't be ever done like him again. But I just felt like I didn't see a problem with the recast. I just didn't. But granted, I like how they ended up doing it towards the end with his son and everything like that. But yeah, for sure. Hawkman and his backstories though, like I read up on some of like his origins, and I think now some of it varies with different comic books or whatever, but I think one of him, he's like a reincarnation of an Egyptian prince or some shit. Like he dope as fuck. Like I would love to see, like imagine seeing all that black excellence in Egypt when they whitewashed the shit of that so
I was gonna say you might want to check out the Hawkman story from the CW show, but they whitewashed that one.
Damn, see?
Well, the guy was. They did a white Hawkman and the black Hawk girl.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But I mean, now that you bring that up, whatever, I mean, some of the DC CW shows or whatever, they've been pretty good as well.
Like,
and I'm talking about going back to like Smallville. Like, I love Smallville.
We came from that time, but like Smallville was like that show.
That was it.
I had a friend growing up, and when we used to collect the DVDs and stuff like that, he had like all the seasons, like from season 1 to I think 9 of Smallville on DVD.
Wow.
Like I thought that was the first person I ever saw with a collection of DVDs,
right.
like for one show.
Right.
And so now these kids just stream everything now, but it's like, Smallville was it for us.
Yeah.
Like that was the craziest thing. And then we never even said Superman to the end of it. Like that was the fast part to me. Was like how they're able to go as far as it was without even having to use the name.
Like they literally ran the whole thing through. It was just a show in itself. It wasn't necessarily this is Superman. It was just a show called Smallville about a boy growing up in this town, dealing with mutants and all this stuff, whatever. It was a good show. And, I even think back then, like, the CGI wasn't that terrible. Like, for
it was for the time.
For the time is what it was.
It was, a lot of that close-up with the crazy wind blowing in the back of the hair type things.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever watch the Superman and Lois show?
I watched some of it. I actually enjoy it.
My mom used to have me watch this show almost every Sunday. We used to watch Superman and Lois every Sunday. That Superman, we're Superman. We're Superman.
So it wasn't good?
It was just it was a sitcom, it was like it was cute little stuff like that.
The newest one, right?
Yeah, right.
No, I'm not talking about.
No, you talking about
that's
Lois and Clark. I'm talking about the newest
one.
I think that's Lois and Clark. I'm sorry, the old
one.
The new one, I like the new one.
I know what you're talking about.
Lois and Clark was Superman. Hispanic Superman slick.
Yikes.
Well, I'm not gonna say it was worse than Superman Returns, but
what about Brandon Roof?
Yeah,
I didn't think Brandon Roof was that bad, man. I didn't think Brandon was that bad.
The whole bullet to the eyeball, bro. Like,
no,
come on now.
The movie, the only bad part of the movie was the whole Lex Luthor plot. You got Lex Luthor about to make land with the little thing, and that was the worst plot ever. Like anytime, like I don't understand. You cannot have a Lex Luthor versus Superman movie and then you really having him go against Lex Luthor. Like there was no beast that he had to fight. He just had to pick up the big old kryptonite island and break it.
That's what pissed me off. I'm like,
and then he had a son out of wedlock with Lois.
Right, the secret.
Had my man's raising your kid out there, young. That's wild.
Yeah, that was
Soups.
some bullshit.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Soups moving crazy out here, young. Soups nasty. Brandon Root was a wild Superman.
Very.
Yeah.
Like they definitely, it was definitely some good content there. But then even with some of the newer content that's on the CW, like Arrow. I love the Flash.
Yeah.
Grant Gustin.
Yep. So I mean, they actually had some decent ones or whatever. And my biggest thing is it's always been like, why don't you take some of these characters and try to incorporate them? Like if you notice, Marvel is starting to incorporate some of their show characters into the actual movies and stuff now. So I'm just like, you got good actors that you can pull on and make this decent or whatnot. They even had a Crisis of Earth
where they brought
on the
together.
show. Yeah, so like,
I think what it is that, and I think what a lot of it is that these divisions are broken up. So you have TV division, movie divisions, and a lot of times they don't want to butt heads and work with each other because who's gonna get the credit, So I think that's where we have a lot of things of that with Feige controlling everything in Marvel now, even to the comic books. It's like, yeah, we can do everything in house now.
Right.
I think they were trying to do that though with Matt Reeves' Batman. I believe they're supposed to have like a Gotham PD show supposed to be coming out.
That's probably scrap now.
I mean, I don't know, man. Everything I've heard about that universe might be in there, but again, it could be.
I don't know, cause remember, and I'm still pissed about this. The Michael Keaton Batman, they were supposed to do Batman Beyond live action.
Yeah.
They just announced that's what that was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's cut. I'm just like,
I feel like too. That's another one we've deserved because that was literally our transition show of going from Batman the animated series to Batman Beyond,
and it didn't miss.
and did
Like I was just watching the Return of the Joker last night. The Batman Beyond
Holds up.
man.
holds up.
Man,
That's a good story.
Yes.
Like with the whole chip and everything.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Whole chip and
yeah.
everything.
If you ain't seen it,
Yeah,
Right,
if you
right.
haven't,
Man,
what you
I
doing?
tell y'all that all the time. When y'all get on this show, know you're gonna get a spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. It's it is what it is. But cause like I'm watching the whole time with my son. Of course, my son don't understand what's going on. But I'm like, this is actually that story or whatever.
Right.
Like Joker took Tim Drake, messed him up, got him real crazy, got him feeling like he's him, to where he's coming back and he don't miss.
Yep.
He sounds like Joker, he's act like Joker, all that or whatever. And that story just, oh man, that's why I keep telling you, gotta get into this.
Red Hood is
know,
another one.
like-
DC stuff.
Red Hood, the movie,
Yeah.
the
I heard
animated
that.
movie.
Yeah.
That's another really good one.
Yeah.
But that's, again, DC animated don't
Don't
miss.
miss,
Yeah,
It don't miss.
Yeah.
But they had a great leadership though when it came from like the Superman animated series.
Mhm.
We had the Dwayne McDuffies and all those guys like R.I.P. to Dwayne McDuffie, like
Kevin
Static
Conroy.
Shock and all the people they was pushing. Like we had a lot to really grow up to, and we still haven't got a Static Shock movie.
Yeah,
Another
I'm mad
crime.
about that too.
I think that's the biggest crime.
They keep towing the line on that. They keep making it seem like it might be a deal.
It
You
might
keep saying
happen,
people. You keep hearing people that want to play him.
Not Jaden Smith, please no.
No, Jesus
I've
Christ,
heard
no.
even Michael B. Jordan
playing
somewhere
Static?
trying to produce it or something.
Oh yeah, I heard about
Yeah.
the producer,
about
that.
but him playing it,
Oh no.
unless he, I don't even know if he can do old Static Shock.
I wouldn't mind a dude from Stranger Things.
I know he was talking about wanting to do the younger version of
Miles Morales.
Well,
Yeah.
he wanted to do the younger version of Miles Morales, but I think it was between him and the kid from Blackish. The son of
Yeah.
Blackish.
I know what you're talking
I heard too they were thinking about doing the dude who does the voice from Miles on Into the Spider-Verse. Him being, because they kind of look alike.
Him being
Miles.
Static Shock. Oh,
No,
him being actual
Miles.
Miles.
Actual Miles.
He looks like Static Shock.
No, he looks like Miles. He kind of looks
Well,
like
they
a little bit
modeled
of Miles.
his actual
Face, yeah.
Yeah, they did, but I mean, how can I say this? I'm not gonna say he's old.
Mhm.
I mean, you can definitely like with him shave, clean shave or whatever. He could pass for a young kid. I don't know.
I would think they'd have to do it. I mean, of course they were just starting to do the movie, probably age out
Yeah,
by the time the
have
movie
to.
gets
Have to.
now. But I think they started right now. He probably would still be.
And then that's my gripe with a lot of things as far as these pauses and stuff like that. Some of these actors aren't gonna be here forever. Like like these movements and stuff you're making. Like either you gonna get the actors you have now, you gotta bring out a new cast because
pretty much.
because like that's my fear for this universe or whatever, that we're gonna lose all the key people that we thought were gonna be canon to DC, and because they passed away. Like just recently, I posted on my Facebook about Bruce Willis. Like he about to kick the bucket soon.
Yeah.
Right.
And he gave up his rights to where they can make AI,
yeah.
of him in movies and things of that nature. So it's gonna be to the point either we gonna make AIs of all these people that would have fit these roles good, or we gonna get new characters.
Or you just even thinking, oh man, that's a whole nother story too. Just that AI with that'll open up a lot of worms, especially for just up and coming actors.
It's already in. They just
it's taking
they just
over.
waiting. It's already in.
Yeah. Especially with the Star Wars one with that, you just got guys who being an actor just gonna be a body placement for somebody
I
else.
need you to stand in right here. We're gonna put such and such body.
Put
on
this
you.
stuff all over your
That's
face,
it.
little dots on your face.
Right.
That's it.
That's
So,
it.
I mean, but that's what a lot of this is moving to. And that's like I said, that's my fear. You keep waiting. We're not gonna have these good actors, and I don't know how you're gonna do it. So,
Well, I mean, like I said, there's always. I feel like there's always gonna be a good crop of up and coming talent. I feel like
Always.
one of the great things, and we kind of see that with a lot of different stuff, like with the whole Wednesday Netflix thing going on. People are going to fall in love with celebrities and characters if you do right casting. Like when they put that Jenny Ortega girl's Wednesday, everybody loved it.
been killing it, man.
So
I
if you are able to find that person, just like how we fell in love with her, like people did not like I said, didn't like those movies, but love Henry Cavill.
Mhm.
Right.
So it's like you just have to find that person who embodies that character
Yeah.
And what I want to ask y'all is, who would y'all like to see, either obscure or not, for DC, for them to be either like the consumer view, like basically like the audience view of person, kind of like how Tony Stark was for the Avengers. Who would y'all like to see character-wise be that?
To be the front runner of DC?
Not even just the front runner, but like who you reflect back to in conflict. So like Tony was the only normal person in the Avengers fight for the most part, who didn't have like no special training or anything like that. So like you kind of saw it through his eyes in regards to it. Like I would say I would love him to do Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, because I feel like he hasn't been a lot of spotlight. He did a little bit in the Arrow, but I feel like with his intelligence, his unique approach, would be a good person to kind of just spark that whole everything off. You know, you can have him find out Superman is around. Like you can have him be just. You don't even have to be the main person in the movie. He can just be someone who's that connected to in every movie. And because of just who he is, his intelligence, what he can do in the comics is like, I think that'd be a perfect person.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely highlight him in some of the shows, like the animated shows and things of that nature. So, I mean, but to choose like who would be that person, to be honest, right now, as far as the actors we have now, I think it would need to be a fresh face. It would have to be.
But I mean, like, what character? Like, what character would? Oh, what character
would I choose to kind of?
I'm probably gonna be biased because I've always just seen Batman as that person. So yeah, I don't know. I can't see nobody else. Like,
you think that's where they messed up with this one? Was not starting it from a Batman perspective instead of Superman?
I'm not gonna say that entirely. Whatever. To be honest, I feel like Superman and Batman have always been the front runners. You got more characters. You got other people that you can pull on to be that glue versus them or whatever.
I mean, even Martian Manhunter, I feel like would be pretty cool.
They hold him. He had a lot more story.
Especially him being able to transform, you can do a lot with that.
Like
he could be somebody different in every story.
I agree.
Every story, he's always playing a different character.
And he brings them all together for some.
Right.
Kind of like in the what you call it, the Justice League show. That was the reason why it was because of the Martian invasion. Well, technically, those guys weren't Martians in the show, but they were slick white Martians.
But I mean, Martian Manhunter will probably be decent or whatever because I don't think we at least in the live action, we didn't get enough of it. So you know, and then too with Snyder Cut or whatever, you saw more scenes of the black characters that you didn't see in Joss Whedon's rendition of Justice League. So
when did they start making Manhunter black? Did y'all notice that?
He's been black but he was
in some of the end, but that wasn't always a thing. He used to be
in the animated.
Because remember, what was the New Frontier? Remember that one? He was white in that one.
I know what you're talking about.
He was white in Frontier movie. Yeah, the Justice League New Frontier movie.
I say
he was white in that one. Because like that was kind of like because in the Aquaman one where they had it was like, what is that one called where they fought Vandal Savage, Doom, Justice League Doom. He was black in that one. That was like his alter ego, and then they did the same thing in Justice League and on the show, the Supergirl show. So they actually had him being that black.
Yeah. So I mean, if he changes anything outside of that, that's what he changed into. But I think his biggest thing is he said he wanted to be a black character because he knew, like, I guess he noticed their struggle, like they wasn't necessarily, he knew they were different or whatever, and it was something I forgot how he said it, but there was a reason why he chose to be black. He felt like they were out and things of that nature. That's where he wanted to be. But that's the majority of what you always see him is a black person or whatnot. So, to break it down, like if it would go that way, I think he'd be the perfect one to do it. And then, like you said, we don't even know his age, so they could be like you said, New Frontier. He was there back then or whatever. So he could be anybody. So he could be that glue, outside of anybody else.
Yeah, so. And that's another thing. I feel like DC underutilizes its characters. It's like y'all got all these goddamn can y'all keep. I'm tired of seeing 50,000 Jokers and goddamn 20,000. Of course, Batman got to be in there, but it's like shit. Can we get some other It's sad that we just now seeing Martian Hunter in live action form. It's sad.
And it wasn't even in the finished product.
Oh, it wasn't. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's what the Snyderverse highlighted was all the stuff that wasn't in the finished product. Like they hold so many of the black characters, and then come find out that's what made the movie.
And then the sad thing about it, they wanted to have Jon Stewart's Green Lantern. That was what he wanted prior to Martian Manhunter, and something about it would have clashed with the Green Lantern show that they were coming out with. We have yet to see.
Never.
So
And then they pivoted that show to focus on Jon Stewart now.
right.
So it's like,
So
what you
yeah,
mean?
so Zack Snyder was like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna put Martian Manhunter, I'm gonna make him black, and put him in here. But yeah, it's crazy. We don't get no.
Shout out to Zack Snyder for that too, man.
Yeah, for
He was always trying to make sure he had us in there.
Yeah.
Hell
Ray
yeah.
Fisher, all them.
Yeah, oh, they did him dirty too.
Yeah, they did
Man,
real dirty.
Yeah, he was actually happy when who got cut?
Josh Whedon.
Yeah, he was happy about that. He was like, hey man, you know it is what it is. GG's, but I told y'all about this, man.
Right.
I've listened to that story a lot though about how Josh Whedon was on set. But I can imagine if you just gave me someone else's work and told me, hey, you gotta finish this and make it good. I can imagine me being a dick on set too. Like I can really see myself being.
He probably definitely on timetable because
Yeah,
I think at one point they were almost done with it and they were like, oh, we gotta throw that person out and put him in there and make it happen.
How much was Snyder's work was done though? How much of his movie was finished? Because I feel like if we're looking at the Snyder cut now, essentially I don't know how many extra stuff he had to shoot, but if we're looking at the Snyder cut, it looked like it was finished. So what the hell did Josh Whedon do?
Looks like
Looked like he summarized it.
Yeah,
that's all he
right.
did.
Yeah.
He just changed the ending of it, and just took out the stuff that would have made more of a bigger movie, like a bigger universe.
Right.
And just kind of like I said, contained it, summarized it up to just say Steppenwolf, bad, Superman.
Steppenwolf even look better in Snyderverse versus the Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know all about Snyderverse, but
yeah. Snyder, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Snyder's always been big on the spectacle. The spectacle is good. The story is where it lacks for him.
Yeah.
But the spectacle is always, he's never short. Like, Watchmen, still a work of art. Still a work of art.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I love the Snyder cut. I just think, besides that, it's just some of the poor casting choices. Like, I wouldn't have casted, what's his name, for Lex Luthor. I thought Flash was
I'm still not understanding that one.
Yeah,
I get it, because he was trying to make fun of, like, not make fun of, but he was trying to do, like, the Mark Zuckerbergs and guys like that. Because those are who the Lex Luthors are of today. Unfortunately,
I would have really pulled Lex Luthor from Smallville, man. Pull him. Like, I could get behind that versus Buddy, like, and then they made him bald too. Like, bro, you look sick.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That wasn't it for me.
Yeah. He
But-
tried.
So hopefully they take that out. So
Yeah.
we'll see that coming in. But, so like I said, we just watching and waiting because we don't know what the plans are. Everything we thought was coming is not coming anymore.
Right.
So.
I don't know what
but they said they're still going to drop the Aquaman movie, the Shazam movie, and the Flash movie, but
But it won't be canon to the DCEU.
they won't be canon for anything in the future.
Right.
This will be the final,
Well, then they might as well let the Rock get his 2 out there. If they gonna let everything else release out, they might as well let him go get his 2 out.
I guess because they're already
These
done.
movies
Yeah,
are canon.
they said after Aquaman 2, that's the clean slate. Like, that's it.
Yeah, because Shazam, I think, is dropping next year.
Right.
I think. And it actually
That
looks
can
more.
go.
It looks.
I'm sorry, Shazam movies can go.
But it actually looks like it's gonna be actually serious this time.
I
Like
hope
versus
so.
the first one. Like we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna watch it just because I'm not going to the theater. To see it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Fuck that.
No, I'm not moving
yeah.
I'm not going to the theater to see
No,
that one.
no.
So it's Shazam and what else? That's gonna still drop?
Aquaman, and Flash. And Flash has been so doctored. That's gonna be like
Yeah.
Flash is gonna come into the theaters like a mummy. It's gonna be so doctored up, so taped, and so many people have been added and removed.
Right.
Michael Keaton's in there.
Is he in it?
I think
heard.
So he's gonna be playing his
Batman.
Batman character. I mean, I see it for Michael Keaton, but yeah, I can see that in the
Right,
script on YouTube.
Right, yeah.
So I don't literally have to go see that, but
Yeah, I'm not looking for. I'm just like, let me just watch it, get it over with.
because what's gonna piss me off is me seeing Michael Keaton and knowing we could have got a Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what's gonna piss me off.
Yeah.
So
I don't know where Warner Brothers is going. They haven't known what the fuck they've been doing for years. At this point,
They never took it serious though. I think they never had to. You got Batman as the $1 billion franchise.
yeah,
They just treat it like a record label. Batman, Drake, and everybody else will. We'll put out some money here and there.
right. But
Yeah.
It's all about
that's
him.
our focal point. Because
Yeah.
like I said, with Batman, you're not gonna miss. Like, oh, you just quarter million. We know he gonna sell.
Yeah.
And you know, again, my gripe again with the Batman, it was supposed to be rated R.
Yeah.
I was like, give me that.
Yeah.
Like
Some blood, some broken teeth. That's all. You know.
that's it.
That's it. And that's always my gripe with DC. It's like, stop trying to be Marvel. Stop trying to appeal to kids. Just be what you guys are. Be dark, gritty, gory, and rated R with a lot of cussing. That's it.
Yep.
Like, easy recipe. That's the blueprint. But they PG-13
And you can do that all with Superman. You can make him that figure.
yeah.
If you make which got really dark. It's just you can't have them both being dark at the same
Right,
time. That's what
yeah.
they did with Batman v Superman.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah. And it, like when that came out, when Batman vs Superman came out, like I've said this before. What pissed me off was the ending. Like Batman stopped to kill this man because he said Martha. Man, I don't give a fuck. You right there in this man's throat. Martha, why you saying that name? Why you saying Martha?
I'm like,
What?
what?
I was pissed at how they just misused Doomsday.
I was gonna say that.
Shit.
Like it was
What
like
the
what?
fuck was
You
that?
turned him into a mutant
You're right. The fuck?
Kryptonian
Yeah.
experiment? No.
Yeah, that's my biggest gripe about that shit too. Like, what the
They
hell
had
is
everything
this?
they needed, and
They could at least do like in some Doomsday protocol saying like this was here just in case the Kryptonians went crazy with the sun or something like.
Yeah.
Because that's at least what he was in the comic books, was
Right.
like a deterrent.
he was a deterrent. Like if Superman was going off a rocket, he was a deterrent. But
Then they just threw Wonder Woman in there for good measure. Like,
right,
it's
it
just,
slid her opponent in there, to be honest. So
yeah.
you know, but
Well, you know, Zack Snyder said he didn't even want to call it Batman vs Superman. That was Warner Brothers doing. They felt like it would sell better if it was called that.
I don't know if that was their way of competing with Civil War, but I love Civil War. Like
Yeah, I mean that's what it was.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you know when that dropped, I was like, yeah, it's not hitting.
It's
the
not
same.
it.
Like, Civil War, it had some depth to it. Like, bro, you knew what was going on with my family. You ain't say shit to me. You got me running around here like everything good.
Yeah, and funny thing is like it's still a similar tense conflict happened, but it's just done way better. But also because you have a history of movies too, where you like Steve's been holding this from him
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
I always like the theory that he couldn't pick up that hammer because he was lying to Tony, like all that kind of stuff just kind of coming to it.
That was the theory. That's the only reason he couldn't pick it up. And then once that finally got released, once he finally told him what was up,
Yeah,
then he could wield the hammer.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's that shit. See,
But it's like you can do stuff like that when you have a long history. You can play like that's not canon what I just said.
Right.
That's just head canon, like where you can just enjoy a whole movie and then just make your own little pieces out.
Like, you know, that did happen.
Yeah.
Why did it? You know, it made sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's why they had a head start that they had. They able to move things around like that. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. You know, like that's what happened before. Okay, now I understand what's going on here.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and that's another thing that kind of pissed me off. What The Rock said, he was like, he tried to compare his movie to Captain America, I guess, with the numbers. I was like, bro, that was a
What?
different time. Like,
well,
Ticket prices
talking
is
about
already
first
doubled
Captain
since
America?
then.
the first one.
Not even gonna lie, first Captain America was a snooze. Like first
Yeah, it
time I
wasn't
say
good.
that, I was like,
Too many
Yeah.
montages.
I didn't
too
like
many.
it. I didn't like
So yeah, if you compare it to that, yeah, for sure you did know.
But also
But-
tickets prices were like 2 times as much too. Like
Yeah.
it. Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's like that's not really
Right,
saying
right.
much.
for sure, not at all. Like you know what, 3 back then was $20. Like,
Exactly.
it was nothing. It was nothing to it, but
Right.
yeah. So like for him, like oh yeah, we did much. I'm like,
And then I heard they were like
Right.
projections.
Right.
I heard this chart was like projections too. It wasn't even like the
Yeah.
real numbers.
Yeah.
so he.
Because it's already out on HBO Max.
Oh yeah, it's already on Max. Like after they got flat foot, like hey, let's go ahead and throw it on
Let's
Max.
just throw this shit
Is
on
it-
Right. Let's
Let's-
just,
let's
And
get
they
some
still
steam
wait.
off
They
that.
said they wait until probably right before Ant-Man come out to put Black Panther on there on Disney
well,
Plus.
shit.
I mean, but it's the last Black Panther that came out or whatever. I'm not gonna say it's not canon, but it ain't gonna hold nothing back. Like it ain't gonna hurt if you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
And then go into the
Most of Phase 4 is what I would call filler.
pretty much.
Pretty
That's
much.
all we've been
Yeah,
talking
that's
about.
what
Stuff you can
Because
explain with a sentence.
Yeah,
Pretty
Sentence or
much.
two.
Just trying to
'Cause,
throw characters out there.
if anything will be canon to the Ant-Man that's coming out, to me would be Loki.
That's the only
That'd be the only thing to me that would be canon to that. If you haven't seen it, then you know once you see how you say Kang.
Kang, yep.
Kang.
So once you see Kang, then you're like, oh, that's right. After y'all kill him, this is okay. You know, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
That's all you would have. Literally, that's all you had to watch. Because everything else is nothing too consequential happens.
Right. Because
Yeah.
like most time when we had a conversation, like she don't really care for Loki. I do, and I'm like I only care for it because of the whole multiverse thing. I know it's gonna lead into what's coming next. And most time that's how I gauge my shows. Like I watch them based off of what they're gonna lead up to.
Right.
But thing with Marvel, almost everything has some attachment to whatever's going on in the movies. Now She-Hulk, I don't know if anything in that is really canon. Other than maybe Scar, but that's about it.
I hope that wasn't either.
Like, Scar look like a bomb, bro. Like,
I bet he's gonna be look completely different next time we see him.
I hope so.
That fade was wild. That front fade was wild.
Cause
my boy, front fade.
I was like,
yeah, they were wilding with that. Wilding with that.
Right. That's So what is it? Yeah. So. Outside of that, anything else that's come down the DC pipeline that y'all think is going to be better, worse, or?
I don't have no expectations. Like I just with DC, and not even with DC, with Marvel Phase 4, I don't even have no high expectations on Marvel. We're huge. I don't know if you're a huge Marvel fan either, but okay, yeah. I've been like shit. They just said fuck it with Phase 4, I guess. I don't know. There's been a few.
But like we said, filler. Been mostly.
Yeah, it's been huge.
I can't blame them. They said they did the 10-year retreat. They did the retreats like a couple months ago, so they got the plan now.
Yeah.
I can't blame them. The show had to go on, but you couldn't put in the same kind of effort and work into it.
Right.
So I think where they at now with Marvel, I think Ant-Man is going to please a lot of people.
Looks good.
I think it's going to be really good, and I think.
Yeah, they say just fuck it with Love and Thunder though, like.
Well, we talked about that, like so.
What God Butcher? That's all I gotta say. What God Butcher?
Oh my, y'all just said fuck
like,
it.
So seeing the trailer,
Just call him Boy to Daddy.
Right.
We ain't seen no God butchering
at all. So like, I wouldn't even be shocked if there were scenes that were cut out that we didn't see. Because at the end of the day, when I seen the trailer and everything, I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a little skinny Kratos. He's going to be out here, killing gods.
Right.
That's what I want to see. He killed one god.
That's all we saw one.
By accident.
Yeah, he shanked him.
Yeah.
Right.
Little prison shank.
Right.
Oh, they gave you the power now. Like, okay. Yeah.
Especially because y'all can't do the real story behind the Necro Sword because Sony owns the symbiote rights.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
like, give us a good gore story then.
You shouldn't even done it then if you knew you couldn't go full throttle with it.
I mean, I'm not mad at the Necro Sword. That's here and there with it, but you can make a good story about a guy who's like, bro, I'm tired of these powerful entities, because that's what Gore is. He's a person who's looking at people who are higher than him and going against them. He was like a working class person trying to worship these celebrities and all this other stuff. He's like, bro, y'all don't care about us. I'm killing y'all. I'm taking y'all out.
Right.
Yeah. No more gods.
And they had the blueprint. I mean,
he was there.
Damn, what's the actor's name? Shit.
Christian Bale. Batman.
He's a dope ass actor. Even the scenes with him, it felt off. You see camera?
It went off?
No, it's still. Oh man.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say even with the scenes with Christian Bale, it seemed off because he was so serious and acting was on point, and then you got the scenes with Thor and the rest of them, and it just seemed weird. Like, like is this the same movie?
Right. It just like I said with Blerd God Butcher. Again, I'm not really a purist when I don't want direct adaptations from the comics, but I want the spirit of what's being done and what's being said to bleed over. So it's like you don't have to do the exact thing, even though y'all did do shots from the comic books.
Right.
I want to just see that spirit of he is somebody who's been treated haphazardly by people who he's deemed above him.
Right.
He saw that they are not what they claim to be.
Right.
And now he's going back for his revenge.
Right.
That's all you have to do that. And just show his revenge.
Right. Just show the revenge. That's
I mean, we're big on revenge, like,
Yeah, right.
plots. Like, show me why somebody pissed you off so bad that you gotta go out here and kill everybody for it. And we haven't been seeing that lately.
Or we haven't been seeing the actual commencing of it. Like we saw, your daughter starved to death, you died, or almost died in the well.
Right.
Right.
Okay, now show me you hanging these guys from meat hooks.
Right.
Let me see you, what I'm saying? Torture, the god of torture. Like, this is stuff that was in the comics.
Right.
I just want to see stuff like that happen.
Yeah, it was a disaster.
That's all man. Like I said, that's all the part that really sucked. Like Multiverse of Madness, no madness.
Look,
that was
we ain't gonna talk about that. Cause then we just gonna bleed it all in tomorrow.
Right.
So, that's the whole thing. So. think the other camera about to die too. So unless y'all had anything else.
Nah, shit. I just hope James Gunn, come on, man.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Shoot, but so I mean, it's been another good episode. Like I said, we were hoping that you was able to come on Sunday
Yeah.
night.
I
or
appreciate
whatever.
y'all having me here, man.
Yeah, man, always. And like I said, we always get together and talk about our shows and what we got going on. So, let people know where they can find you and things they can do.
Hey, man, it's the Thoughtful Narcissist Podcast, TTNP. We're on Instagram, Apple Music, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you get your podcast from. We also have clips on YouTube. So check us out, man. We appreciate y'all. We talk about a little bit of Marvel here and there, but we get into everything, black culture, hip-hop, everything we want to talk about, we try to touch on it. So we just try to help the people learn each other and help other people learn from what our growth.
I got you. All right, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. All his information and links will be in the description. And y'all stay tuned for the next one. So this was episode 9.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've been moving and shaking.
Right,
So,
right.
and then next week we will drop our season finale, which will be Avatar: Way of the Water. So if you haven't seen it yet, go see it, because we tell y'all all the time, do not come to this channel if you not looking for spoilers, because you go get them.
Right.
That's why we give y'all a week's time to relax, chill
Right.
out, go see the movie, because if you jump on and you see our show, you gonna get spoilers. And I don't want to hear it like, oh man, I might not watch it now.
Right.
That's your fault.
Right.
That's
Right.
your fault. You come in here because we are your favorite movie and show critics. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. It's been a good season thus far, and we hope that y'all stick with us for next year. We got hella content coming.
Real.
Ant-Man dropping next year.
Spider-Verse.
Indiana Jones, Spider-Verse is dropping. Like, a lot of content's coming. We're gonna be here to report on it. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. As always, I'm your host K1, and this is your co-host,
Shalom.
and this is our special guest.
Hey, Rhetorick.
All right, and we are out of here. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace. All right.
That was a good show.
Yes, sir.